Coming this October to Marvel Snap.
Is a new season so awesome, it will probably melt your face off.
Wow, we're introducing a new character to Snap, Miles Morales.
He's a fine specimen, I suppose. But there are also new variants for Spider-Woman. And of course,
this
Guardians.
quality, production
Don't forget
quality.
all new locations, like the Daily Bugle, Oscorp,
And the Nexus. And Sinister. All amazing places to destroy.
When you play a card here, fill this location with copies of it. That's adorable with Hobgoblin.
And eviscerate anyone who stands against you.
It's coming this October in the new season we're calling...
Wait, let me say it. Symbiote Invasion.
That's right! Marvel Snap launches in just a couple more weeks on October 18th. We can't wait for millions more players to join us when we go global. And from the bottom of our hearts, thank you so much to everyone who's been playing the beta. It's been so much fun to chat with players about the game and get incredible feedback, especially to everybody at the Marvel Snap official Discord. If you're not in there already, come join us.
Remind them to pre-register.
Okay, pre-register at marvelsnap.com. It's finally here, our first official season, and there's a brand new card, Miles Morales Spider-Man. Now it's a 4/5, and if
See what they're doing with people who sideloaded it? Well, people who got official beta invites after sideloading just had their accounts transition seamlessly, so I assume that that'll be the case.
the card moves last turn, it only costs 1. Now, this could be a really great counter to move decks if you're seeing a lot of move decks in the meta, but you could also
All those move decks that are in the metagame shaking in their booties, chat. Miles Morales is here.
move cards yourself by playing cards like Nightcrawler, or cards like Polaris or Arrow to force your opponent to move cards, making Miles Morales incredible value at only 1 energy. This is our first official season, so all the cool stuff in this season pass is exclusive to the season pass for the first time.
What if they didn't play the beta?
Hey buddy, you okay?
Oh, yeah, right. If you haven't played the beta, don't worry. All the stuff from the beta season is coming back into the game. At some point in the future, you'll be able to collect all that stuff. Now, I had a chance to sit down with Nikki Broderick.
That's a good tidbit to know. So starting with this season pass, the cosmetics and stuff in this pass are exclusive, and the season passes that were in the closed beta only weren't exclusive because they don't want people who weren't in the closed beta to be locked out of it. So get your FOMO, chat. Everybody get your tenors out and ship Mr. Broad here a tenor so you don't miss the exclusives, okay? Buy yourselves a Miles Morales and some fancy cosmetics.
To talk about how seasons work and our upcoming development roadmap. Nikki, I'm excited to talk about seasons. How do seasons work in Marvel Snap?
Seasons are so cool because they are jam-packed with goodies. Each month we introduce a new season for our players, and this upcoming one.
It's where dear devs misspeak about metas for sale. So again, just for clarity's sake here, when we talk about exclusives on the season pass, we're not talking about the card itself, we're talking about cosmetics. So the Miles Morales card, if you don't purchase the season pass, will become a part of the pool 3 card pool, that kind of general card pool you get past level 500 or so, where everything else is in. After 2 months. So it's October, so that means in December, I believe it is, or January, Miles Morales will be available for free-to-play players and everybody that wasn't playing during the season pass in Pool 3.
One is Symbiote Invasion. I'm so excited. This includes a brand new season pass featuring brand new cards like Miles Morales. It also includes new avatars, variants, card backs, tons of great stuff that players are going to want to collect.
It happens every month. There's a new theme.
Yes, exactly. There's a new theme each month with new goodies for everyone to check out.
Tell me about featured locations.
Featured locations are so cool because this is how we introduce brand new locations.
Featured locations suck, and I really hope we get a queue without featured locations sometime very soon. When I'm playing a lot of and enjoying a lot of Marvel Snap, there have been a lot of days where a really shitty featured location came up, and I just turn off Marvel Snap and don't log in for 2 days. There have been several points where, like, we've been streaming in the evening and a featured location comes up that sucks. I literally just turned the stream off, and it's like, see you in 2 days. I think the featured location is a neat idea that they need to be more selective about which ones are featured locations. And ideally, there should probably just be 2 separate queues where I can always play normal Snap versus play with featured locations. I think their current system where they pick locations like the Peak, for example, the featured locations that don't encourage everyone to play one of the same 1 or 2 decks are great. However, the Peak, where everybody just loads up Mr. Negative because it's the only optimal deck, those suck and should never be a featured location ever, ever, ever.
Locations with new mechanics to the game for our players to test out. So coming up in the Symbiote Invasion, we have one of my favorite locations called the Nexus of Infinite Realities. This location is really special because any cards and power you play here is shared across the other locations.
Power here is granted to the other locations as well.
So this is a great opportunity to drop Iron Man and Hulk together and just watch the other locations get boosted up.
Hulk is definitely the single best follow-up I can comprehend to Iron Man. Yes, I've racked my brain and thought about all the meta decks. That's definitely playing Hulk after I play Iron Man. Yes.
So what locations can we expect in Symbiote Invasion?
The Nexus of Infinite Realities, Bar Sinister, Oscorp Tower, Machine World, and Daily Bugle. There's almost too many to remember, bro.
And what else can we expect from Seasons?
We have new hot locations coming in. So these are locations that our players are already familiar with, but they're coming back into the rotation more frequently to really spice things up each week. And we also have
So, again, I don't want to harp on feature locations too much, but like, even just her framing of it here, I feel like shows a misunderstanding of what the featured locations are doing, right? Like, she says the featured locations are coming in to spice up the gameplay, but the problem is that they do the exact opposite of that. They take what is normally like a decent format where you could play a few different things, and they shrink it down and narrow it by saying like, okay, these are the optimal things that play well into this location. It doesn't spice it up. It takes the metagame and it like cuts it in half or cuts it down to a third or a quarter or worse sometimes. I really hope that they understand what it's doing.
new ranked rewards. So for our players who really love climbing up in the ranks, they get to come in and collect more new goodies.
So we're trying something new. We're gonna talk about what we're doing in the future for Marvel Snap, what's coming up next. It's a live game now, so we're working with players to determine how we want to move forward from here. We have some exciting stuff to share about, things we want to do next.
I'm so excited because as a producer, you know I love roadmaps. So let's kind of bucket it up into 3 buckets. We've got stuff that's really coming soon for our players so they can really look forward to that. We've got stuff that's in development, so we've actively tasked this up, we're working on it, we're jamming on it. And then we've got stuff that's in concept, so stuff that we really want to explore, and that's really where our players can give us a lot of feedback.
Well, we've seen bits and pieces of this before. I had a full reaction video to just the development roadmap earlier. A lot of good stuff coming up in here, a lot of good ideas.
Coming up a little bit later and coming up maybe in the farther future.
Exactly.
Let's take a look at the development roadmap. And the first big thing is launching the game in 13 languages across 3 platforms, including iOS, Android, and early access PC.
Not only that, but we have tons of content for players to check out. We have over 150 base cards for players to collect, over 1,000 variants.
Without featured locations, the meta deck would always remain meta in ranked, not through regular balance patches and regular card releases. So again, you could just like have balance patches that shake up your metagame if your goal is to shake up metagames periodically, and new powerful cards will organically push the metagame in different directions as releases happen. And again, like, shaking up the metagame, taking where, like, you have one best deck and among, like, a dozen decks and turning it into a 2-deck format for a day and a half. Yeah, it's a metagame shake, but it's like a negative metagame shake, right? And in the case of the Peak, it's literally a negative metagame.
And tons of new locations, too.
So what comes next? What's in development?
I'm so excited because we have 2 new modes in development right now. We have Unranked, which is a great time for you to test out your deck, make some card tweaks, and continue to earn progress on your missions, which is really nice without the risk of losing any cubes. We also have Battle Mode versus a friend. So this is a great time to finally get to play against a friend. So maybe you've been wanting to match up against them. You have a grudge match. You can jump into battle mode. You know a ton about battle mode,
Yes,
right?
it's a totally new way to play. Each player has 10 health. And when you win, you deal damage to the loser equal to the stakes of the game. And you're gonna play over and over again with the same decks until one player has knocked out the other. It's a great way to play against your friends because the stakes actually matter because there's a clear winner and loser in the game. It's also a really cool way to do community-run tournaments because you need a clear winner for each part of the bracket.
Oh yeah, Ben, can you tell me a little bit more about collector's tokens?
Oh, I'm so excited about collector's tokens. This is what players have been asking for since the beginning, is the ability to target specific cards they want to get. We're adding this new free currency. You get it on the collection level as you level up, and you can spend it in the shop on whatever card you want. If you want a specific card, wait for it to show up in the shop, and you can buy exactly Spider-Man or whatever you want. We're also adding a ton of new cards. There's 3 series in the game right now, Series 1, 2, and 3, and after you earn Series 3, you have access to Series 4 and Series 5. These are super rare cards. They might show up in the boxes on the collection level, but also you could save your collection tokens and buy specifically the ones you want.
Okay, so this is the mention of Series 4 and Series 5 cards for the first time. So the implication here is that you'll be able to find those with the collection tokens even before you get there. And I assume Series 4 and Series 5 cards and calling them ultra rare is where things like Thanos and Galactus are eventually going to show up.
We want everyone to have a different collection, and you can buy the cards that fit your playstyle the best when they show up in the shop using these new free collector tokens.
One other thing that's in development that I'm super excited about is a widescreen mode for our PC build. We're super stoked to be launching early access PC. We're gonna keep jamming on developing that widescreen experience.
So I'm a little nervous to talk about this because this is a little bit farther in the future. Tell us about what's in concept.
We've got some really big dreams of new stuff that we want to bring to Marvel Snap, ranging from new competitive ways to play, social systems that are going to be great ways to be friends in game, as well as new in-game events.
You know, global launch is just the beginning, and we need your help to help us look at this list and talk about what do you want to see next. This is all pretty far out. We have a lot of time to reprioritize and think about new things. Come join us in the Marvel Snap Discord to talk about the future. And Nikki, thank you so much for joining us to talk about what comes next for Marvel Snap. We're so excited for Marvel Snap to launch on October 18th. We can't wait for you to join us as part of the Marvel Snap community. Hang out with us on Discord. Also, if you haven't pre-registered, go do that right now at marvelsnap.com. And if you're going to New York Comic Con, come say hello. I'll be there as well. I would love to talk about Marvel Snap with you.
Good job, Ben.
Hey, thanks, Venom. Thank you for watching. Can't wait to play some games with you. See you online.
So they give like a small hint at series, like they didn't give us any information about what Pool 4 and Pool 5 actually means, right? Like, I guess the implication, the way Series 3 works after 1 and 2 is that you're going to get to 4 and 5 simply by virtue of getting through Pool 3. So it'll give something to players to get after that point. But we didn't get any timeline on when that's happening or details like what collection levels it happens at or how likely you are to get cards at that point. Yeah, Venom to talk in the video. Yeah, the overall production quality here was really good, especially the little season teaser here at the beginning where it went through all the little bits and had Venom talking over the top. I thought that was really well done. Yes, so I think again, so this is just pure speculation. So them saying the Series 4 and Series 5 cards are super rare, I think that is an implication that they'll be less common than the Pool 3 cards to show up in the collector token shop. Which again, for people that didn't check out the development roadmap overview video we did, the collector tokens are going to be a thing where every 8 hours a different card shows up in the shop where you could buy it for collector tokens that you will get out of your collection track progress. And if there's a card that shows up in the shop that you don't currently have enough to purchase, you can pin it there to stop it from rotating until you get enough currency to get it. So they're giving people a way to eventually get cards they want specifically, but also because it's not all of them all of the time, they're on an 8-hour rotator, they're also going to use it as a means to get you to log in several times per day, waiting for the card that you actually want to buy to show up there in the meantime. Yes, they actually mentioned that they're going to be reducing and or completely removing boosters from chests. I don't know if they said they were removing them completely, but they definitely mentioned like there being less of them at a minimum in the same breath as the collector token. So I assume like they have to fit something out of the chest to put the collector tokens in. So it sounds like those might be swapping out, which would be a good change. Boosters are definitely the worst thing to get out of there. All right, chat, it is 1:15. I am going to head to bed. I am doing another Marvel Snap live stream here on YouTube tomorrow night. We're going to start about 9 p.m. Central tomorrow evening, so about an hour before I started tonight. We're going to play another Miles Morales deck. I have a viewer deck submission to play through tomorrow night as well, so we're going to get a couple of decks in there. Thanks, everybody, for watching, and hopefully see you back again real soon. Remember, if you haven't done so already and you like my stuff, tap the like button on this video and anything else you watch on the channel to help me get a little bit of engagement to get out to more people.